Okay, let's have a little chat about not necessarily action figures, but the act of collecting action figures. Um, One of the things that happened with me is that in the beginning I didn't collect action figures. I was collecting nerfs with my little niece because we used to play. Eventually she grew up from that part of his childhood. But about that time, I started getting some Funko Pops, and before that, I got a few pieces, like maybe over 10 years ago. I got that Sentinel. I got a few. Oh, that Batman over there, and a couple other ones. So I wasn't actually collecting just like, oh yeah, they look cool. That was my early 20s. Um, After, you know, um, that whole thing with the nerf on my knees, I got into Funkos, because going to the toy section, toy aisle, I was looking to the Funko Pops, and they look cool, they look nice, they look funny, and I saw Batman, Saint Seiya, all those cartoons that I used to watch, and it got me into collecting Funko Pops. At what point I had around 200 Funko Pops. I At this point I have around 100, maybe a little bit less. But for whatever reason you start doing it, uh, either because of the comics, you used to read comics when you were younger, and and now that you are older and you have money, you say, I'm gonna get a few pieces. The cartoons, the like myself, actually I got it, because of Batman, the X-Men, Spider-Man, a little bit He-Man, Thundercats. um, or maybe just because of the toys. Some people just like the toys, either because they had them when they were kids, or they didn't have them, want them, and now that we are older and we have the money, we can buy them. Um, for whatever reason you got into something like this, once you start doing it, most of the people get crazy, start getting way too many pieces, and of so many different things. And if that's what you like, that's fine. But for the ones that we are a little more specific in our taste eventually, um, like what happened with me, like I say, I got Funkos, but I also was getting a bunch of toys that at the end it wasn't at my, what I like now. Which I don't mind. It was nice, getting excited and all that stuff. But I went from Marvel Select. I started getting into this size 112 or 6 inches, 7 inches, 7 inches. So when I started getting a little heavy into this was a little bit before, around the same time that McFarlane took over the DC, the multiverse. Um, so I started getting the McFarlane. I was getting the Marvel Legends little by little bit. But I already, like I say, I already have too many pieces, a little bigger, 12 inches, uh, actual toys, and then too many characters. Then I didn't really care too much for them. Like I have a bunch of X-Men, and I do read some of the comics, but like I say, my main thing was um, the cartoon from the 90s. Like I do love the Age of Apocalypse, so I actually got that. Uh, but I didn't really need all the others. Most of them I never actually opened the box, so they were in storage until I got rid of them. But my point is, it took a long time for me to decide what I actually like. At one point I was getting figurines. I said, no, that's not my thing. I like something more dynamic. I like, up to a point playing with them, different poses and everything. Um, so when you're starting, when you're young, and you're like, okay, I want to do this, I would recommend try different things, but do not overspend, because at the end you're gonna have way too many pieces than you are not gonna like anymore. You won't have enough space, and they are gonna be in boxes, all of them. And then you're gonna have to get rid of them, try to trade them, sell them, or just give them away. And sometimes I do believe it's sad because I do like some of those pieces. But now I do enjoy just watching them from afar, I'm gonna say. Like going to conventions, I see a few pieces, and oh yeah, this is pretty cool. But I don't need it. So I'm not gonna buy it because I'm not gonna have a place to put it, to display it correctly. So that's my 5 cents. Whenever you decide to start slow, put a budget. I'm gonna spend $100 a month, $50 a month, um, until you are 100% sure what is that you like. You like Funko Pops? Yeah, go ahead, go nuts. You can have 1,000 Funko Pops, and start hunting for what you like. I do love going to convention stores. Walmart and Target, they suck now. They don't have most of the time anything good, but back in the day they used to. Um, like right now, I went for Marvel Legends and McFarlane, and now I'm getting into Mayfix, Mezco, maybe some SH figure arts. I don't really like Super 7, so I don't think I'm gonna get into Super 7. I might try it, but as I mentioned before, now I have to get rid of so many figures, buy new ones. My recommendation is, if you like the 1/12 scale, 6 inches, uh, save your money, buy Mayfix or Mezco, the characters that you really like your main Batman, your main Superman, Wonder Woman. No, it should be a good, even so a little more expensive figure, and all the others. And you only need to like fill up space, or Mayfix or Mezco don't haven't made yet. Okay, then go into McFarlane, Bandai, Mattel, whatever you need. NECA, like I love Gargoyle, right there. But as far as I know, only NECA is doing it, and they look great. So I have to get them. Like I say, okay. Also, I love these Metal Batmans. So I know there are some other companies that are making some of them. So I might change some, but right now they're great. Same thing like with the Justice League from the cartoon. I mean, McFarlane was doing it, so I was collecting. I only got four. I hope my point is getting across. So you don't waste your money and too much of your time before you decide what to do, what you really like, and then you start collecting that. And the other thing, be mindful of your space. Might not be the same all the time, might get smaller, might get bigger. So going a little slow is gonna help you with controlling your space. Because eventually, when you start getting too many pieces and you are trying to display your pieces either in box or out of the box, you're gonna see that you have things or pieces that you don't really want to display or don't go with the decor that you are trying to make. So those are my 5 cents. Take it or leave it. Thank you and happy hunting.